everyone. Welcome to I'd Back That Kickstarter with Gloryhoundd.
DrGloryHogg.
Greg Dickson.
And today we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of Kickstarters. We just got back from Cool Mini or Not Expo, or I'm sorry.
Come on.
It's Come On Expo. Apparently they're changing their name, so it's not Cool Mini. It's not.
It's for international,
Simon.
right? It's because Cool Mini or Not
Yeah.
is a separate website that is no longer affiliated, and they switched to Come On because it's more friendly for people overseas.
By the time I get
Easier
used to
to
calling it Come On, they'll have a new name.
And that's it. And it's
It'll be
like
the artist formerly known as Come On.
it's that challenge of every time I say it, I will still say Cool Mini because
I do
that's
too.
the original
I do
name.
too.
So and then I'm
'Cause
like, oh wait, Simon. Oh
I've
wait,
liked
Come On.
since before they were.
Plus, it just sounds super dirty,
they were just
guys.
Mini or
like,
Not.
I don't know, Mini or Not.
I've liked them so, and they used to be just Mini or Not, and I was like, yeah.
It's like calling Settlers of Catan still Settlers.
We had
Yeah,
a really great
Settlers.
time at Come On Expo, so we ended up doing a bunch of their panels and live hosting for them.
It was pretty amazing.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun. And we did an interview with Alex Altiano.
Trebek?
Altiano.
I remembered how to say his name.
Our Brazilian designer friend.
Yeah, he is super nice
Yeah.
and super funny and just like, he was super chill.
He was a real cool
yeah,
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we talked about a game that's actually not going to be on Kickstarter, which is God of War, the card game. So,
Yeah.
so you'll have to check that out as well.
It's retail.
And Greg, when are you coming back to?
Hooked on Geek.
Yeah.
Monday. We're back.
Monday,
Our
they're
hiatus
back.
It is Monday?
has ended, yes. the
So
10th.
That's
because of
right.
you, I had to I bought into Audible and I downloaded audiobooks for my drive-in because
Because you didn't have the podcast.
I used to listen to your podcast on the way into
Aw.
work on Tuesday, and I got like such withdrawals. I was like,
Yeah.
I guess
We've
I'm
had-
listening to the Rune Lords
We've had
again.
people reach out to us saying the same thing. Like,
And
I got kind of used to it. It was kind of weird to not
Was
have
it?
there. Yeah.
yeah.
thank you so much for everybody
She's never
joining us in the
listened.
chat
We'll be
today.
back.
We have Alan.
listen.
Thank you for joining us. Vincent, of course. Kabuki Kid. Who else is in chat? We
got
got
we got a
Elephant
first-timer,
99.
yeah.
I haven't seen Elephant 99 on
First
here
time they've
before.
caught us live.
Or maybe
they said.
first time with them talking and stuff and
No, they said-
headcrafted.
I literally they said.
Oh,
the first
okay.
time
I
they
didn't
caught
go
us
all
live.
the. I didn't go all the way down
I like
there.
Kabuki Kids.
Aw, good morning from
conspiracy theory.
Australia. Looking forward to your
Wow.
show. Awesome. That's exciting.
Australia.
All right, well, let's get started with these Kickstarters today. We have
You
4
can
to talk
comment. You can
about.
comment. I don't know if Oprah rings good in Australia. I don't know if they know who Oprah is.
Everyone knows who Oprah is. It's like Mickey Mouse and Michael Jackson.
Are we supposed to be talking
It's
about
the
this
head
video's
name.
going? I forget.
Well, yeah, because they can't hear the sound. All they hear is our voices. So
Shiver me timbers.
suckers.
Arr.
So
What's a pirate's favorite letter?
I am not a
Arr.
huge fan of
Well,
pirate
I thought it was
games.
sea because they like to go out of the sea.
Aww, aww. I'm not a huge fan of pirate
Arr.
games, but
Sorry.
this one has a really interesting feature with the modular ships.
Yeah, this might be
Did
the
you
only
see
pirate
that?
I
game.
did.
Yeah, being able to add cannons and
You
extra
put the little
supply
cannons
and
on,
extra
you,
flags
like,
to go
get your
faster.
hull.
Which, I mean, I'm no piratologist. I don't think extra flags automatically or extra sails automatically equal speed, but it might. I've never been a pirate.
See, I've seen games where they use cards to like upgrade
Upgrade.
things.
Yeah.
I always
You
like it
know?
when they actually do it on the actual model.
But this is pretty cool. Like
'Cause
this
it-
is pretty rare
Right?
to be able to actually
here
like
comes, here
change
comes,
your
here comes.
model as it
Look
goes.
at those cannons pop out.
Straight
So
up.
In
your
beautiful.
face.
And if you painted
So
those too, that'd be so sweet to flip it, and all of a sudden you got this black
Well-
Oh, yeah.
cannon sticking out.
The only thing with painting something like that is once you paint it, you don't want it to get scratched. So you wouldn't want to keep assembling
Yeah.
it
I think
over
that
and
would
over.
be fine.
manhandling of it.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I'm talking about just painting the cannons
Maybe it would look
themselves.
BA being all scratched up though.
I feel like just painting the cannons themselves. So so it's all green, and then when you flip it, then you got
and
a
then
black
you're like,
cannon.
boom, cannons.
Yeah.
You like these
I would do that.
cannons?
You like, yeah.
Welcome to the gun show.
you get you get a cannon. You get a cannon.
Everyone
Everybody
gets a cannon. Look under your seat.
Check out these cannonballs on this guy.
All right, so
Look at the size of those cannonballs.
this game is not funded just yet,
It's
and
not.
That's
the
surprising.
it's the first
not
time
cheap.
created.
At least he's not like new to the industry though. I hate whenever
Right.
it's like first created, zero backed. And you're like, so
Yeah, and you're like,
Right.
you have no knowledge. Either
you just came here for the money. Like you've never
Yeah.
actually been a part of the community.
or they might have created a separate account. That's the only other thing I can think of where
Yeah,
they did a
sometimes.
company name account, which is what happens, you know?
You got to get in there early. You got to do like what Druid City did, which is get in early, back stuff, and then put your stuff up.
Yeah, right.
Because like James doesn't have like a James. Hudson
So
one. He's got,
Kabuki
like,
Ki-
Fruit City.
Right, that's true. Kabuki Kid says pricey, but the ships have an awesome toy factor, and those cannons were pretty
Yup.
cool. And Silver
Agree.
Key Lounge says, take my money right now.
Oh wow.
Well,
Let's drive over there.
just throwing money
Silver
at
Key
it.
is in.
Let's just drive over there and take their money. Seriously, they said
Yeah, Vincent's like, yeah, those cannons are sweet. So, as far as like the toy factor of this, though, I mean, the modular board is cool.
we could.
I like,
you build the board together.
yeah, and I
So
love
you-
that.
So you get your objectives because everybody
Right.
gets their own kind of secret objectives.
And
You go,
try
okay,
to
I need
build
to
it
do
to your favor.
right, and you're like, I need to do trading. So you're like, you want to set up good trading ports. Well, she
Right.
might be like, well, I want more combat, so she might be trying to set up a different ports.
Yes,
and
it's
that
all
kinda
quest
changes the
based
map.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
And I like that it reminds me of like that whole Western Legends by Colossal, where you're like, you can win by doing trades. I could win by pillaging ships. You
Right.
could win by finding artifacts
Different,
and treasure.
different
Like
objectives.
you can win doing different things. You're not like, oh, we're
Right.
pirates. We all do
You're
the
not
same
stuck
thing.
in one thing. It does have a little bit of a take that element, guys, with it, just for the
Whoa.
fact that,
Well,
I
you're
mean, I believe you can do
pirates.
dueling and stuff like that.
But the
with it,
dueling's
yeah.
cool because like rock paper scissors, where you're like, I got high guard versus their low attack, and
Right.
you can, which I thought was kind of thematic and cool,
I
right?
think so.
It's
I
better
think
than
so.
just like, you know, 1 attack, 2 attack, 3 attack. You're like high guard versus low, like, you know, low attack, and the low attack gets in, you lose a point.
Well, what are you guys' personal thoughts on the game as far as just like
I thought we were
overall?
just doing that.
Well, no, but we're talking about the individual aspects. But I mean, I haven't heard a lot out of Greg
I
here.
feel like
Which is good, right?
That's what we go for here. I like the ships, but I feel like the rest of it looks kind of bland. I don't know, like the look. What do you guys think of like the
I like-
graphic design?
I
the
wish
color
the map.
schemes
I
and-
thought the graphic design was good. I wish the map looked a little bit cooler. Like I
Yeah.
wish it was more like where you
More
put
detail.
pieces together versus like here's the water area, here's an island.
Right.
I like when you actually put them together.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you know, with
Like
oddly
puzzle
shaped.
piece.
Yeah.
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 I feel like that's doable because then it feels more fleshed out, and you feel like you
There's other
build.
games that do that.
But
that
it feels
have
like
those
you
kinds of
build a game
boards.
board versus just going
Right.
like, I'm gonna go
Just
from this
connecting these
circle.
pieces.
I'm gonna go from this circle through the rectangle to this circle.
Yeah.
And-
That's not as much fun.
Kabuki Kid says there's also a 5th player that just got added.
Right.
But they'll doubt that. What is it? Oh, it might bog the game down. Okay, that makes sense.
That's
and
usually the case.
Vincent's like, he can win by flipping the table, and you're just gonna spill water everywhere. I don't know if that's that's
It
good.
doesn't come with actual water.
Heck, it
no,
would
no.
flip the table. Yeah, I think when you max out the player count, often
Most
you know,
games get
you
long
want
that way.
that 5th player, but then when you get it, it's like with Cleopatra, they redid
Blood
it
Rage.
and they reduced the player count because they were like, it doesn't play as well at 5,
Right.
and
Yeah.
they brought it down to 4. So I think that while that's usually an exciting stretch goal or something
Time-wise.
to see, sometimes it's a sign that
We rolled up on
it
Sam
doesn't actually
Healy,
work very well.
and he
Right.
was playing Blood Rage with some people we know, and,
Yeah.
and he's doing it 5-player. And he was like, "Yeah, it was long." I'm like,
Yeah,
that's a lot."
that game
So-
needs to be played with 4.
For 2 to 4 players on this game does take about 90 to 180 minutes. So it is a longer game,
Yeah.
and the base price for this is
You
going to
can't
be
live
at the
the pirate life in
$73.
like 10 minutes.
That's true. There's a lot of like pillaging to do and stuff like
But
that.
I have to
you
say,
know?
for a theme that's usually not super exciting to me, I was actually pretty enticed by this one.
I really like just. It feels so cool, like pimping out your little like
Deluxifying.
ship. You're like, oh yeah, what?
Deluxifying. your different ships.
Deluxifying? Oh, sorry, deluxifying your little ship.
I agree with you though that the pirate theme doesn't usually stand out to me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but if I'm going to jump in like to a 4X pirate kind of thing, this feels
This
like
is-
something
this would
that
be
would be
it.
tempting. Yeah.
Yeah, because it has questing, it has dueling, you have pillaging, you have upgrading your ship. I
Yeah.
mean, those are all the things that you would want to do as a pirate, and it's made it into a very thematic looking game. The only reservation I have about this is one, of course, it's a first time creator, so of course
Yeah.
there's going to be, especially with modular ships, that is something that if it's not well planned is just going to take longer to get that idea out into the world unless they've already priced everything out and everything. And the second thing is the fact that it's Weltflucht Verlag. I cannot find them online right now, and I'm not sure why. Like, if you go to BGG and then you click on Weltflucht Verlag, they don't have a site there associated with it or anything like that. So I'm just personally having a little bit of issue, like, finding more information on the company.
Right.
But other than that, for me, I don't like pirate games, and this is 100% like win for me here.
Wow.
Yeah, and James Hudson is saying, I want to make my ships humongous.
Yeah.
A gigant. I don't know that you would have to have a larger table for
Huge
that.
Enormous, he says.
Oh, sorry, huge.
Huge
I like
enormous.
it.
enormous.
I like
Huge
it. He
enormous.
He's
came
too
up
much of a redneck to come up with
Huge.
words. That's
Huge.
Let's just
He
be
has
real.
writers.
He can't do that.
He has a team of Harvard writers writing his
He
lines
should
for him.
get
He's-
Ben in on this.
He's
Ben can come
board
up with a
game
good-
royalty
good-
at this point. I mean, jeez. He can
Give
do
him
whatever
a
he
bonus.
wants. He can do whatever he wants.
I think I agree with you that the first time design, the first
He's-
time publisher, the overall look, which I think is kind of bland, besides the cool ships and the playtime and cost. I don't know if it's something I would actually come back to, but it does look like it is tempting despite
Absolutely.
the pirate theme.
Can I just say that James Hudson is royalty like Vanellope Sweets is a princess for Disney princesses? Like, technically. She's a little rough around the edges, so is he. I think that's kind of where he falls
What do you
into line.
think about their
I know that's one of
full?
his favorites. He's probably going to get mad at me.
Did you read their full refund policy? They're basically like,
Like, yeah.
we're gonna give you back your money
Yeah,
if
I've
you don't
started
like
to
this.
see
That's
that
kind of interesting.
occasionally on Kickstarters, which is kind of an.
I like how they
interesting-
also said on there, they're like, let's be real, you might not be able to get this otherwise. So if you don't
Yeah, I
back
did
Yes.
like that.
Oh, thank you so much for bringing that up. Yeah,
Yeah.
You're
guys,
so much welcome.
if you are interested in this game, but you're like, oh man, I'm gonna wait on it. This just may never come
yeah,
to retail,
yeah,
guys.
Be aware that
Yeah.
waiting will only make
The-
this one
the
more
problem-
expensive because
Right.
people reselling it
Yeah.
with a very finite, like, supply.
The problem
Right.
with retail is you have to build a lot more profit margin in, and Kickstarter games usually have very low profit ranges just to get them out. You know, it's usually they start
Yeah.
making more money when they start doing bigger and bigger campaigns or they do reprints.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times these Kickstarter campaigns that do really well, even if they do really well, they can't afford to actually just take it to retail.
Right.
Well, let us know in chat, guys, if you guys are going to be backing this
well, what about you?
particular
Do you
one.
feel like you're going to back this one?
I would like to back this one because although I can't find a whole lot of information on the publisher and stuff like that, like I need more time to investigate.
Oh, Vince
but-
invited me to his place to play.
Everything looks amazing
that
in
ticket
this.
to Britain will be a little expensive.
Yeah.
For me, this is
I
my-
love the fact that you're questing. I love the modular boards.
Yeah.
I love the modular ships. Like, it was win, 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 win. And
For me, I only feel like I really am going to truly back one of these this week. This is my number 2 pick. So
is
it's
it number
definitely
two?
my number two.
Number
God,
two.
why did you can't say numbers around these guys. These
We
guys.
haven't done that to him in ages.
I know. As
Feels
soon as
good.
it came up, I
Feels
was
good
like,
to
yes.
dust that off.
I
Feels
still
good.
hate it. I still hate it. It's so the worst.
He's gonna beat me up afterwards. All right.
All right, Alan says he'll probably back it in the chat. Vincent's going to back it. Let's see here. Oh, and Kabuki Kid also said that they've been waiting for a good pirate game and that they had heard information from one of their friends that had played it and had really good feedback on that and stuff, so they're going to
Yeah.
back it. So
It's always nice when you got a friend
good.
that you can trust and they played it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7th Con
yeah,
will never go
seventh
retail.
and that's so sad. I'm trying to get on that because we didn't have the money to back that last Kickstarter they did. So like
I
I'm
have
just in waiting for them to go ahead and release the final copies online for
I
that,
think
so I
can
can
get us-
snag
I
them
think I
up.
can get us a copy.
Really?
You know a guy?
I think I can. I think I saw something that we could use. Maybe we'll
This
see.
is so mysterious.
I know. I
Well,
want
if
to know.
I tell everybody about it, it's
now.
gonna go. So like,
Okay. All right, next up we have the Refuge. This is Refuge Terror in the Deep. It is by B&B Game Studio, and it is for 1 to 6 players. And it lasts about 20 to 40 minutes on this game here.
oh, that's not bad. That's pretty quick.
Right.
This is the most puzzly one we've got, where it seems like you're like where you at around the board is like super important.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like a fleshed out Onitama.
That's
really?
exactly where
Okay.
my mind went to.
I was
Was
thinking
like,
more like Sunken Island, where you're trying to like kind of go through tiles and flip them and stuff. It seemed like
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, I could see that too.
yeah. It seems
this
like
one by far has like some of the best miniatures because you've got miniatures that are like inverted and like sideways and like so you're not like
they
no.
look like they're underwater.
Yeah, they're not all
Right.
just like standing there like I'm a miniature and I
I'm
stand
posing
this
for
way.
my mold.
They're like
Yeah.
swimming through.
They're like in action poses.
Like,
Here's
I'm
the
all-
reveal. Ready?
If I could just buy these miniatures by themselves, I probably would just to have cool miniatures.
Yeah, that one person who's floating like
or not.
sideways going down.
Would you
is
buy these if
super
these were cool minis or not?
You mean come-ons?
If they were come-ons, yeah.
Come on, come on, come on
I
now.
like the tentacles too. I could see hiding
The
these tentacles
tentacles
around the
were
house
super
to
cool.
piss her off.
Okay,
Just sticking out of the walls.
She hates octopi.
so this
Really?
is actually the
to
perfect
know.
miniature for an RPG group right here because can
The
you imagine?
tentacles?
Yeah, can you imagine
Yeah.
playing an RPG and having that you can also reserve
They
for your
remind me of
RPGs
I think
and
Shadows
stuff?
of Brimstone has a similar thing.
Where they
Yeah.
have the
Those.
tentacles coming up
Shadows
like
of
that.
Brimstone has some sweet miniatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's a little bit of the Onitama
Has
sort
Flying
of
Frog.
Yeah, this is
look
the
to
part that kind
things.
of reminds me of Onitama,
Yeah.
where
You're
you're trying
having-
to position yourself to do like the optimal move with your
Oh,
cards.
okay, I see it now. I see it now.
Can I
Yeah.
make the minis darker in the video? Sorry, no, I cannot. I would have to do all sorts of crazy adjustments. I wish I could. That would be awesome. The minis do look amazing, says Headcrafted?
Although
Headcrafted.
these are the kind of
They
minis
have
that
a
besides
tentacle.
the tentacle and the kraken head, I don't know when you would have the need for like people swimming underwater in 1930s scuba gear minis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they look
That's
cool
true.
for this
That's
game,
true.
Time.
but like
Always.
what like role playing game campaign are you gonna be like? Oh, perfect! I can pull out my scuba guy from the 30s.
I don't know. We have
mini."
we have a 5th edition D&D that's going to be on ships here soon.
Okay.
Specifically because someone bought one of those $200 miniature ships.
And then they're like,
so
we
we're-
got to work this
yeah.
into
We
our
gotta work it
campaign.
around.
So my little brother's like, we're going to have a sea campaign. Like we're going on after this mountain's done. And the whole dragon thing is all cleared up. We're going for the sea. And I'm
That's
like,
what, I love
into
it
the
whenever
water.
that
and
happens.
I'm playing like a dwarf. And I'm like, this seems bad for me.
I love it whenever that happens.
I don't think I can swim.
So Jimmy P says not sold on this one
Jimmy
yet,
P?
but they want the minis. Let me know why you haven't,
with
why
Jimmy
you're
P.
not sold on it.
I'm
so
not 100% sold on anything this week, but of
Yeah.
the 4, I think this is my most tempting one.
is it okay?
I like the different kinds of ways to play it. I like that it feels like it's going to be like simple to learn but have a lot of depth to play.
Yes.
I like the overall look of it. I like spatial abstract kind of games like Glux or Onutama or the Duke, and this feels like a pimped out, like kind of gorgeous version of that, you know?
The only reserves I have on this one is the fact that I feel like it's going to be a lighter game, which is good for a ton of people,
Right.
except for me because I'm not a fan of
Yeah.
lighter games. So
I
like,
just know lighter games get played more. And, this is
And
kind
that's
of a
exactly
conversation
it.
we've had before.
yeah, where they do get played more. So that's
Yeah.
not a negative to
'Cause
like
there's-
anybody else in the world
Right,
except for like
right.
me and all the people that like super homework math thinky games.
Yeah,
So
and I like
look,
those. It's just
Dr. Gloryhogg's
the
giving me the
time to-
eye right now
Well,
about
no,
it.
the time to play those is so rare.
Yeah, I know. That's always my argument with her. Is like we just don't play those ones as much. But
Yeah.
she's like I want this game to be 2 hours longer, and I'm like I don't.
I like that if I've got the time, but I just don't have the time enough.
I'm 100% okay with the game ending after an hour and then just going cool. Let's reset,
Let's
pick
shoot-
different
yeah,
characters.
let's do it
You
again.
know.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to play like every single game I play is like 4 hours and that's it. And I'm done for the night. I played a game tonight. That's
right,
it.
right.
So the starting price on this is $49, and you get all the Kickstarter
That seems
exclusive
really
stuff with it and
reasonable, too,
everything.
for all the minis
That's what I
and stuff.
thought,
Yeah.
right? And then they
And the
have
different modes of play and
this one here that is Refuge: The Race for Survival that they're adding to it, which is that the first game?
yeah. I
so they
think
have
so.
the first game, which is
This
the
is their second
Refuge, and this
Refuge
is their
game.
second one, which is
Yeah.
also a standalone game and
And
stuff.
I think they're both kind of a race. Like, I mean, you're trying to get to the other side of the board.
Right.
I mean, it's a very simple concept. But if you get knocked back to the beginning, then you get to reset your abilities. So there's kind of a, well, yeah, this bad thing's happened to you, but now you're gonna have abilities that no one else has. It feels like it's a smart design choice.
Vincent says we need to play with a real octopus, and I'm gonna have to say, no, dude. You
I would
guys,
have
okay?
one if
So
I could. I love
octopi
and
and squids are so freaking smart, guys. like,
Oh yeah.
super
Who
smart.
doesn't want a pet that can just straight
Nobody
up get out of
wants
its cage and like
nobody
walk around
wants a
and be like,
pet
"What's up,
that's
bro?"
super smart and trying to like. That seems like
You say that,
a
yet
horror-
you get Jack Russell,
horror-
like one of the
I know,
smartest
but
dog
that's
breeds out there.
the beginning of a really bad horror
there-
film,
but-
like
but
where
there's like thousands of
mutated
years
octopi come out.
of humans
and
and dogs like working together, like built
I feel
into
like
them.
humans
Dogs are our
Loyalty-
best friends,
loyalty
guys.
built into the
I feel like if
breed.
you
Best
had if in the
friends.
right scenario, having a bunch of octopi as friends would be a good situation.
That's true,
What's
but they're
the
like
right
stronger than a
scenario?
human. So
I'm just saying.
a lot
okay.
of jars to open.
You're in the water. You're in the
Oh,
water.
I just inherited 300 bottles of pickles and I'm underwater.
You're in the water.
Oh,
you get attacked
my.
by sharks. Your group of octopi just start swarming them.
Octopi attack.
They're squirting ink. You're safe. You're in your little ink cocoon, just
I
chilling.
like it. You're a big Aquaman fan, aren't you?
No, I watched the recent Aquaman movie and I was
Yeah.
quite
Also-
I heard pretty
also-
mixed reviews on that one.
mixed as in skip it.
I skipped
octopi
it.
and squids have alien DNA. So
Do octopi
look that
also?
up.
I know squid do, but do
I believe
octopi?
octopi do. It's that group of them. The
I feel like
cephalopods.
in the right scenario, an
cephalopods have
octopi
alien
could
DNA.
ride on the back of a dog, and you'd have the perfect pet.
Wow. And they could use one of
How
their.
long can they be out of the water?
I
little
feel like
bit.
we're getting distracted, but I
I
do have
think
one more
so.
distracted thing to say. Steve Jackson Games has an octopi pin for Origins, and it's wielding a sword and a shield.
You could
Okay.
have
Okay.
an octopi could have 6 weapons.
See, they're so
and-
smart.
and
They
2
know how to
legs.
use swords and shields.
They could have 8. They could have 6 weapons and then still 2 feet to run around. That's a lot. That's a
Yeah.
whirling dervish of death right there.
ST is saying Onitama with miniatures.
Not sure.
He likes Onitama.
I mean, Onitama technically has
This one's on the watch
miniatures.
I mean, I don't think this is exactly like Onitama, but it just
No.
the movement and the card play of trying to like
Right.
position yourself
it's
reminded me
a heavy
of
puzzle
it.
game. It's a heavy puzzle game
Yeah,
because
it's
those
a spatial puzzle.
Yeah, those pieces that you're moving
it's a
on are going to have
race.
things. Yeah,
Ooh, Call
you're
of
trying to do
Cthulhu.
it in a certain amount of time. All of the items that you're going to be getting, it looked like they had spatial positioning. You know, your characters move in certain spatial positioning. Yeah, so it is a heavy spatial game where you're doing, I mean, a lot of thinking and puzzle work with that, but it is light. It's
It also
that
kind
20
of
to 40
reminded
minutes.
me of like a boss battle in like an old school video game where like you have to position yourself just right and then he moves and you have to try to get around it because you're flipping those cards to like move him around the
You're
board.
just screaming out, more dots,
And
more
tentacle
dots.
attack and
Minus 50
he turns
DKP.
red for a second and you hit him and you know it just felt like it had a lot of elements of things that seemed fun all mixed into one box
I
I'm
guess
not
for like
super-
a really reasonable price too.
I think
Yeah.
that the reason why you like it is I'm not super big into puzzly games.
I like spatial puzzle.
So
kind of
I
I'm
do
stuff.
like-
too.
Yeah.
I do too.
So for me, this one's probably a pass. I'd have to try it. I would play it, but
You'd
I mean,
try
I would
it?
have to. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
have to try it.
Okay,
before I
so
buy it.
Greg,
Yeah, I think they're all try before you buys for me.
Oh
this
my
week.
try
God.
before you
But-
buy.
but this
All
one-
right.
Greg's
You know
out.
what?
No,
Yeah.
but this is the one I'm most tempted by of the four. Like, if I had to buy one, this is the one I
You
think
do
I'd
have
go
to buy
for.
one. The fans demand it.
Oh,
All right.
wow.
You have to buy at least one
Can they-
game a month.
can they also? No, that's one a week.
See, Kabuki Kids, it had an octopus as a
Yeah,
pet, and it
and
was
they
wicked
say
smart.
it's super smart,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm not down with that. Like,
That sounds fine.
no.
I don't think it's
Whenever
good.
whenever an
It's not-
octopi comes out of a tank and it's like, you know, a-hole, you didn't feed me, and throws like some crap at you,
Well, just feed
that's a
it.
problem.
Just feed it.
Yeah, why are you not feeding your octopi? That sounds like bad husbandry.
All right,
Animal husbandry?
Animal
for this
husbandry,
game, I'm gonna
aquatic
say
husbandry.
it looks really good, but I don't like octopi, so.
Yeah, I'm passing
Yeah.
because of mechanics.
It's not actually
Alan.
an octopus. It's a kraken.
Yeah.
Does that help?
I'm passing because of the mechanics. I'm
trying.
not a big puzzle guy.
It's one of
so-
those things that just like creeps me out. Like tentacles creep me out. I don't want to be touched by tentacles.
You should
I
watch
don't
the
wanna...
original Old Boy movie.
No, I'm good. I'm good, guys. But as for the rest of the game, it looks really good, guys. I think that if you enjoy those particular mechanics, you should totally do it. Or if you're
See?
looking for some sweet,
I'm
sweet
loving-
miniatures.
This
I
is
love
the
it.
part I was talking about where he like moves.
Yeah.
You have to like dodge him.
I love the casual selling that's going on in our chat. We're like, you should definitely buy Ultra Quest before you try it, or you could try it Origins in like 3 days.
We've got people behind the projects, don't we?
Yeah.
All right, so next
That's
up
funny.
we have The Few and the Curse.
Dun, dun,
I'm
dun.
gonna have to do this here. Okay. This is by Rock Manor Games. It's for 1 to 4 players and it lasts about 60 minutes. This one, is it playing? Is this one playing? Jeez, play
It's
already,
just a slow
guys.
build, man.
All
Oh, that's-
right.
No,
Yeah,
it's
this
just
is
It
not
will
playing.
entertain you. I
It's
mean,
just not playing.
Da-
Can
da-
you,
da-
can
We had
you
this-
act the video out
da,
for
da,
us,
da,
please?
da,
It was
da.
basically,
Oh,
it was
sorry.
like this, right? It was like,
Right, right. And
Guys,
then
you're
what?
gonna ruin
And
my.
then-
You're gonna
then show
ruin
us
my
what a
show.
tumbleweed rolling looks like.
Oh, and then
No,
I
and
still
then
need.
it
And then we
unmutes
still got
itself.
the unmuting.
Come
Okay.
on.
you
All
guys
right.
are very
This
chatty
opening video
today.
is very cool, though, by the way. I
It
feel like
is.
because it showcases the art, it tells kind of the story, but it also shows you kind of how the game works a little bit. This is like a video done right, in my opinion.
Arizona people selling us westerns
Do you know
again.
how hard it is to get her to buy into a Western game? It is ridiculous.
That's a turnoff
Yeah.
for me too. I'm not.
Westerns.
Yeah, Western stuff doesn't really
Okay.
jump out at me.
You
First
guys are
off,
weak
I
in
have a
spirit and
little-
mind.
Look
Oh.
how cool these monsters.
I have a
look
little
in the
bit of
video.
backstory on this one. So we
Oh.
were talking to who were we talking to? Richard. What is his second name?
Newbie,
No.
Richard.
It's the creator of the. It's the designer of Arkham Horror.
Yeah.
I
It's
can't. I
Richard
can't. I can
Brain
never
just
remember
like
his
blank.
name,
It's like
and I'm
Lo-
so
it's like
sorry.
Lotmouth.
Oh, Lanius.
Yeah,
Lanius.
Lanius.
Oh, yeah,
there
yeah,
we go.
Richard Lanius is awesome.
I don't know how many times I
He
was
was at
told
Come
Lanius.
Yeah.
I cannot remember that name
I've
for some
ran into him
reason.
at other cons and stuff, and he's super
Super
cool.
super
Yeah, yeah,
cool,
yeah.
super
He's
said
the
chill.
nicest guy.
We spent a whole dinner
He
just talking about games
loves
that, like, we should play
Kickstarters.
and
He
back
does.
forth.
Like,
He's done a lot of stuff
insane
on
amount.
Kickstarter. Yeah, yeah, and he's
Yeah.
done a lot of. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's Kickstarted
So-
a lot
He's
of things.
created a lot of games.
He was talking
Oh,
to
yeah.
us about the other game that's associated with this. What's
Max Apocalypse.
Maximum Apocalypse. And
Okay.
he was saying such
It's like his-
amazing
like
good
his-
things
it's like
about
his
Maximum
favorite co-op
Apocalypse.
game. It's
Yeah.
in his top 3 at least.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I
And he
haven't
makes a lot
played
of
that
co-op
one.
games.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Elder Sign.
Oh,
and-
absolutely. He
we
makes
found
stuff
out
for
that he's like an
all
older
sorts
version
of
of me. Like we like the
places.
exact same games.
Yeah.
We were going back and forth. I'm like, hey, have you tried this? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, what about this one?
He
He's
likes
like,
heavily themed, like mean cooperative. Like
He's
does-
a very
he makes-
Ameritrash player,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
guys, okay?
Yeah.
And just from talking with him and hearing about Maximum Apocalypse, I'm already thinking, Well, that's interesting. Like,
Okay.
if
I want Western
that has
Legends
the
so
same
bad,
sort of
Kabuki.
look, the theme, and everything associated with it, like, is this one going to be a really amazing game? And I don't like the Western theme and things, but I do 100% like the Buffy the Vampire Slayer
But
thing
you
where
like
everybody's mutated.
Yeah, she
Everybody has,
likes-
like, special abilities.
You like Weird West.
Ex-
so
and
like
that's it. I love
Deadlands,
Weird West,
Doomtown.
Okay.
Deadlands stuff.
Was Doomtown?
Yeah.
Did Doomtown have Weird
I
don't
West?
think
Oh yeah,
Doomtown
Doomtown did
was.
because they had the Spirit
Did
Rock
it?
and stuff.
Oh, no,
Not
that's Deadlands.
So I think they're like variations of each
sorry.
other.
Not just like straight. Yeah, a lot of these is the
But we-
rules. Kabuki Kid knows what's
Yeah,
up.
we've played the RPG Deadlands and we've enjoyed it because of the Weird Westness and like I want to play more of that. We always liked that
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, and as for Western Legends, yeah, it's
Kabuki
just
Kid.
I'm
knows
just
what's
not.
up.
I don't want to be a cowpoke wandering to.
That's
yeah,
not what Western Legends
no,
is
I
though.
don't know.
I'm gonna buy
That's
it.
the feel I
I'm
have
just
for
gonna
it.
order it. Get it. How about Father's Day? Give me Western Legends instead
Well-
of something else.
Okay, and this
And then
I already
next
ordered
Father's
your
Day she'll
stuff.
play it
I'm
with
sorry.
you.
Well, then you have to get me 2 gifts for Father's
Oh
Day.
well, darn.
And I'll give you another baby. It's a good trade. Hey.
No,
what's happening here?
no,
What is
no.
If you have 2 kids, you got 2 kids. Do you get
Yeah.
2 Father's Day gifts or just 1?
Yeah, 2 handprints with googly eyes drawn
Ah,
on them.
nice, nice.
So, what are your guys' impressions
What
of
do you
this
think
game?
of the mini? Not the character minis, but the monster minis. that
Okay,
you
we'll
just
go
scroll
back up to the
past.
monster minis.
What do you guys think of those? I don't know. They don't.
Well, is it like a
The s-
Wendigo there?
The snake is cool. The other ones look kind of meh to me.
Really? Meh. It's weird. So who knows? Like I don't know. They're cursed. They're like cursed beings. So I don't know. I think they look fine.
Okay.
I think I'm excited about the Weird West associated with this, and
Sure.
the fact that you're going to have your own internal battle in what you're doing, as well as the battle on the board, and it is cooperative in the fact that you're trying to make sure that not everybody gets to San Andreas. Like you don't want all of the monsters to get in
Right,
there,
you
or
have
else
to
you
still
So
lose.
that's
defend the
that's
city.
a lose condition. I
Yeah.
think, for everybody.
And I
right?
think that's really interesting
Yeah,
how they
yeah.
have it, because
So you can't just
they have
run
you
out doing your own
starting
thing the
there,
whole
then you
time.
have to go out and do
I
things.
like the theme and the premise.
And you might try to talk with people on the board. Oh, you need to get over here. You need to do that. You
Yeah.
know,
Like I don't know this IP, but apparently it's a series of comic books.
yeah.
And if
Now I'm
any-
interested in the comic
Yeah, I was
books
gonna
too.
say,
I'm
if
like, this
anything,
is
the Kickstarter
interesting.
had me more interested in like checking out the comics.
Charles
Wendigo.
Than the
says, "Is there a cursed jackalope? There needs to be a cursed jackalope. That would be
the-
that'll be the
fantastic."
expansion.
That one up there looked almost like. But I think that
Kickstarter
one's a
next
Wendigo.
year.
Wendingos are interesting because they can look like a couple different things because they're skinwalkers.
Yeah, I'm.
So
you know
what's
what?
up?
I'm super down with this game. I think that I wouldn't be like as excited. Like I'd be impressed by it still, but not as excited if I hadn't heard what I had heard from Richard this weekend and stuff and talking to him, because it is at a decent price. The base price for this is the $59 for that. Okay.
79's deluxe.
Yeah, you're getting your miniatures and stuff. And again, like I said, I really like the fact that we're doing that internal struggle as well as the struggle on the board.
Yeah, because you can if you lean too heavily on like your kind of superpowers or
Yeah.
your enhanced powers, you become cursed on your cursed side, which has its pros and cons, probably more cons. So it gives you like that kind of balance where you got to walk that fine line between white and dark, light
Well,
and dark.
And you're searching the board for items that you bring into your deck,
Right.
Yeah.
because it's primarily like a deck building mechanic
There's
to
an
it.
aspect, yeah.
Yeah, when you're flipping out cards and everything with that.
I don't think it's too much RPG-ish. I think it's got enough theme that it's going to get you excited about it. What I dislike about a lot of games is they're like, move brown cube 3 spaces to the right. Yay. Pick up a yellow cube.
But
Yay.
Greg likes that because
Well, if
he's
it's
more
done well,
Euro-y.
yeah.
Like Greg's like, bah, whatever.
I want
Doesn't matter what it looks like.
I want it to be something cool though, and I think this game you'll feel excited about your character. This is the type of game that gives you convention stories. You play this at a convention, and by the time you're done, you're gonna be like, "Oh, remember we were playing? I was playing Redhead, and that when Dango attacked us, and I was able to kill it to barely score enough points to win." You never sit down and go, "Hey, remember when we were playing Carpe Diem, and I won by getting 3 grapefruits? That was good times." And I like Carpe
yeah,
Diem.
grapefruit.
It's a good game,
I
but
hear
like
ya, I hear
even
ya.
and I
Yeah.
won it on my 1st
Let's
time
do
by
this.
tiebreaker, but I still don't talk about it. Where I talk about
Hey,
Touch of Evil.
Hey, Greg, remember that one time I had more cubes than you?
Oh,
I
that was
know, right?
crazy.
I
I talk about
know.
asking for troubles because of the theme,
Right.
where I'm like, oh yeah, we were collecting up all the troubles and
Yeah,
throwing
yeah.
them into the sun, and you get excited about it. Where
Well, and I think the
I feel like
story-
this is going to give you, you're going to get excited about this story.
Because it's based off of a comic.
Yeah.
It makes it it makes it seem safer to buy in that there's going to be like a story.
good story.
Here. That it's
Well,
not just going to be a box
That's
of
half
mechanics.
the reason why I was hyped about Tidal Blades. Besides, like James' connection and all that,
Sure,
and,
sure.
and him hyping me up at conventions and everything,
Yeah.
was the overall storyline of it, where you're like, oh, cool, you're fighting.
Right.
Like,
Oh,
this
and Ellen
arena.
says,
Competing.
again, I
Yeah.
like that all three of you guys give me different perspectives as different players. That's so important. That's why we do this show, and I pick different
Thanks,
people to be in
Alan.
here. Yeah.
Thanks, Alan.
It is super important to find the right sort of reviewers that you match up with, because then you know for the most part you're going to like those games that they end up liking.
Kabuki Kid's right. Carpe Diem does need a design for the
Ugly.
ugly. The bread looks like a
It's
weird grapefruit,
so
right,
bad.
Kabuki? Like it's supposed to be bread, but I've never seen bread that looked like that.
We
it looks
always
like
call it grapefruit.
it looks
when
like a
we play
brown
it.
grapefruit.
So as a note, guys,
Such a good game, though.
It is
Uh,
good. I liked it. I would buy that game.
Yeah.
Kickstarter exclusive for this particular one means that content will not be in regular distribution.
Yes, you're getting a special box. And
Yeah.
what's interesting is since this one is funded, it's not like super funded. They've got stretch goals for both just retail that everyone's going to get, and then stretch goals for deluxe.
Oh,
So
that's
I'm-
right. I remember
I'm
you saying
tempted
that.
I'm tempted to go in almost just at retail and then seeing if enough deluxe stuff gets unlocked to bump it up to $20, because otherwise for $20 you're just getting like wood water tokens and stuff.
Okay.
It's not a lot, and then you get a mini expansion I think for deluxe. But if it gets funded a little bit more, then deluxe gets like a 5th player character and stuff like that. So then
Well, the
deluxe
whole
seems
point
more
of
worth it.
Kickstarter, though, is like if you go in on the deluxe and then you're making that money, so it will get funded that.
Right, but
like-
the $20 that we would give it today is not going to be the make or break for that.
Well, we're telling a whole bunch of other people.
No, they,
So,
you guys should all go
like-
deluxe.
Oh.
I'll go retail.
He wants you to take the risk.
Oh,
But also for $20, if this is
okay,
the only
I
one we're going to
get
back this
it.
week, we could definitely go into that. The only other thing I want to back is Roxley is doing a bunch of
Why are you talking
I
like
don't-
this?
a bunch of
You
iron
still
plays.
have a mic
I
by
know.
your face.
They're doing a bunch
Are you
of
just not talking to Greg? Like, what's
no,
happening?
It's really they have Roxley has a bunch of iron clays where
You
you,
guys,
get
can anyone
poker
tell
chips.
me what he's saying? I can't hear.
Check it out. Check
what's
out Roxley's
happening right
Kickstarter.
now? I'm lost. Hey, what? Are you guys done talking?
The iron clays are really sweet. I know that's not
Can we
like
get back to the show
what
now?
we really talk about, but as far as
Okay.
pieces go, I love them.
Greg, what
I
do you
think this is a pass for me, kind of a try before you buy sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Gloryhogg?
I'm in on this one.
100%
sure.
in. 100%. For
How
sure.
funded is it? It feels like it was just barely funded, if I remember
No, it's
right.
over. It's definitely overfunded. She's got to do the slow scroll.
I'm going to do slow scroll so
This is
nobody gets sick.
dramatic.
Oh.
Well, like Jebediah is like this guy from like Persia who has like a spirit inside of him, and if he's not careful, like he dies and the spirit comes out. Like they all have kind of like these really weird like.
Well, like I
cursed
said, because it
abilities.
has that comic based in like a story, it feels like that.
I'm going to go read the comics, guys.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
more interested in the
100% for
comics
reading the
than
comics
game. I
now.
was like,
yeah.
I wanna, and then if I love it, then I could see later
And
on.
you'd be like,
trying to
oh my
grab it.
God.
They've got 7. So they've
Yeah,
done.
see,
they've
it's
done
They
barely
just broke.
funded. That's what I was saying. It's
They just broke it at
but I
20
think
days, but that's good.
This was a shorter campaign,
They
if I
also
remember
still
right.
have
One
20
of them
days.
was.
Yes.
All right,
still got
so-
20 days.
I'm actually, although I don't like Westerns, I think I'm going to back this game because, like I said, I really enjoy that Weird West thing. When we were talking to Richard, he had very good things that he said about the previous thing. Like, well, no, you can't do that right now.
Oh, sorry.
We're not even logged in. Jeez,
Oh, we're not
guys,
logged
I am
in.
Oh,
so
you can't
sorry. I
take him
apologize.
anywhere.
I
I
apologize.
was gonna do it. I was gonna put her
Come
money.
on.
I was gonna put her money where my mouth is. That's
Wait.
Yeah, and I love the art
Something
style
dirty
in
in
it. There's
my
very
mouth is clean.
few things that I have to say that I disliked about this. Everything looked
Yeah.
fantastic,
no, I'm
guys.
super excited about it. I feel like this is going to be like one of those really good stories.
We had
A
really
story
good
game that like once you
games
play,
this
you're going to have a
week.
really good story.
As far as like we kind of had a lull where we were doing smaller games and stuff, but it's come back up. So next up we have Altar Quest, and I gotta mute that for us here. And this is for 1 to 4 players. It's gonna last about 30 to 90 minutes, and the base price for this game, guys, is $109.
The
This is
bleeding
a
straight, that's not good.
gigantic
You don't want to be from there.
campaign-based game. Huge campaign-based game.
5
And
holds, not 6, just 5.
you don't want 6, okay?
6 holds is too much.
2 6. Where are you gonna put all the holds?
I don't know. Not enough room for 'em. That's
What's
true.
happening?
I'm just reading the
Poor
map.
Greg.
I love it. I love it.
Poor
That's
Greg.
hilarious.
You gotta read the
Sometimes I
map.
forget I'm on the show and I'm just enjoying watching it.
YouTube just crashed. That's terrible.
No.
Oh no.
I'm seeing it.
Hopefully
still.
it all goes
Is
together.
that the
We'll
end
see.
of YouTube forever?
Is that because of Brexit?
Doc wrecked it. Oh.
Sorry,
That
Vincent.
might be the case.
YouTube is now locked behind
So,
content.
with Altar Quest, I believe this
paywall.
is the deck system. This is the one that has the deck system, right?
Right. It's
Okay.
based off of a system they've used in
Right.
other games.
Where
Which looks really cool.
whenever you play that particular campaign, you take different decks from it and then you mix them up together so then you can have different outcomes for those campaigns.
Even though you're doing the same basic.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was talking to some people about this
it was
this last
Tantrum
weekend.
House was talking about it, I believe.
Name drops, name drops, name
You
drops.
said some people.
We saw the pictures online. We know.
Wow.
And it was really interesting listening to them talk about the deck system and how it does create a very unique and different experience whenever
Yeah.
you're playing with
Builds
that. Because
replayability in it.
and it
seems
really
like.
does
Yeah.
because if you think about it with campaign games, you might go through and play those first few chapters of that game
Street Masters in
to
Brook City.
show people like 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, however many people you're showing the game,
Right.
you go through that introductory game.
You keep playing the same
Right.
scenario over and over again.
How much fun
to
is
teach
it that when you are going through that introductory
Yeah.
game, it's going to be different
They
every
built
time?
something different.
Right, and
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
a big thing where they were talking about, because they were talking Richard Lannis actually, and they were all talking about, and they're like, what's really cool is when you're playing it, you're like, oh no, it's gonna be that guy, the guy to the left, the short guy. He's the one who has the thing that we need. And then they were like, no, when we put it was like the elf over there.
Right.
And they're like, oh no, we thought it was the dwarf, and like all three of them had different versions of who it was gonna be, so like they couldn't just be like, oh, I always know it's always gonna be that guy.
Right.
Yeah, it's a really interesting system, and
I
I thought
love
it was really
the-
great.
I
Then
love
it comes
the
with
minis.
cool miniatures.
Ooh,
Well, I like that
yeah.
the minis are not just characters, but there's like doorways and furniture, and like that's really like when we were playing Gloomhaven with our buddy, he like 3D printed a bunch of that
Yeah,
stuff.
I know.
But this is like
he still
built.
owes us some of those.
But this is all like built into it. You know what I mean? I think it's just something unique. You
Which
know,
is interesting
You
bec-
pull the card that says fountain or whatever, and there's like a fountain piece. You
Well,
know?
I just recently started buying some of the miniatures from WizKids, like the deep cuts ones for RPG. And the thing that I bought was stuff like that, like a bookshelf, and I bought doors
Like,
so that my
we
players
got, like,
can see where the doors are at
crates
and
and
stuff.
Right. Those are
feeding trough.
And I bought
Other
crates and I
things-
bought skulls and stuff.
those
that,
are
like, they
other
can look
things
at.
that you can use if you play RPGs. You can use if you
Right.
play Gloomhaven. You can use if you're
Unlike
playing
deep
miniature
sea divers
campaigns.
from the 30s, you can
Right.
use these
Exactly. You
miniatures
can use
in
the
lots of
tentacles, but you
things.
can't use the deep sea divers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that alone with this campaign, I'm like, geez, like these are things you don't usually see printed, period, unless you are going that 3D printing route where
Yeah.
people have specifically created that sort of stuff, you know? And
Altar of Greed.
Bum,
this,
bum,
you know what, guys, this
bum.
campaign is just so cool. Like, honestly.
Trap miniatures.
I love campaign games because I love having a story play out as you're going
well,
along
you
and
like
upgrading
big, long
things.
experiences, and this is like,
yeah.
you know, scenario after scenario after scenario, night after night after night.
I
kind of
tell
an
you what I don't
experience.
like about this is the fact that as you're going down this Kickstarter campaign, you have information, but you don't have like enough information on anything.
What do you mean?
Like as I'm going through, so we just scroll down. The very first thing that they have on the top is all of their stretch goals,
yeah.
which that's a little odd. Like I want to see the presented game first, you
I
know,
see what you're saying.
and see, okay, why should I be interested in this game? Not what am I getting, because I haven't decided if I want the game yet. Which
You feel like it's just ordered strangely
right, it was
on
just
the page.
ordered strangely, and then as far as
Maybe they're from Australia and that's actually right side up for them.
really getting
Toilets flush the
into
other way.
the deck building
actually nice.
system and stuff that they have,
What?
I don't feel
blew
like
my
they
mind.
highlighted it enough in just their written text here and
Yeah,
stuff.
you'd like them to really explain how that works.
Right,
In
so-
more detail.
Right, and if I had just looked at this without talking to other people and stuff, I wouldn't have backed
Well,
this
could-
campaign.
Because I haven't played the other games that this system is used in.
Yeah.
They're
So
really
it
highly
means
regarded,
nothing.
though.
Yeah.
Oh,
right,
absolutely.
But it means nothing to me.
Well,
if I
there's a
haven't
reason
played
why
the
they
other
have
ones.
over
Oh, yeah.
300,000
Of
on
all
this.
of the
yeah.
games, this is by far the most
most backed
funded
one,
this
yeah.
week. Yeah.
Well, what are your thoughts on it, Greg? Because I know that you are not a huge campaign player
Just be-
and
just for
or
the same-
miniature player.
Just for the same reasons we've discussed, because they tend to be this big time commitment, and it's rare to like get the same group back together and play it, week after week after week or whatever. So I just always am concerned that these are not going to get to the table. But I like what I see. I mean, I always like the idea of them, but I've just learned like in practice that they don't get played that much. you know?
And Brady Sadler also says it plays amazing one-offs as well, and
Right.
that is an excellent comment on that to
Yeah.
remind us on that. Thank you so much. Yeah. You don't have to necessarily go through the campaign.
Right.
You can just play like little one-off games and stuff,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool too. You know, you're just like, I mean, it would be like if you were an adventurer and you're walking around, they're like, hey, you want to go do this quest for me? And you're
Sure,
like, cool.
sure.
And then 4 months later, you're like, hey.
That's actually how I got my job. They were like,
Is
hey,
it?
you looking
They're
for
like,
work? I was
hey,
like, sure.
you,
How do you feel about nudity? I'm like, I'm all right with it. Why?
you
with
walk
it.
into the bar and the bartender's like, I see you're an adventurer. Yeah, this one
That's
here.
just the bartender's pickup line.
Right.
You look
Oh,
like an
that they don't say
adventurous
that to
sort.
everybody?
Yeah, exactly. I got an adventure for you in the bedroom.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this one here, if you were into campaign games, I think this is like a
Interesting.
surefire win for you, especially with all the miniatures. If you're into miniature games,
Yeah.
So
surefire
it was
win.
actually made for the one-off
One-off
style,
sort
and
of
then
style.
They added campaign for people that like campaigns. So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I absolutely, because for us who have children and are working and then also have our hobby of, talking to you guys about games
Time
and stuff.
constraints.
Yeah, and then also having to fit in all the brand new games and stuff that we have to play almost like as a mandatory thing so we can talk about them
Yeah.
and stuff. Heavy campaign style games don't get played as often,
It's
and
just
when they
hard to
do,
get
they
to the
do end up
table.
getting played as like sort of, okay, we'll do this and this,
Yeah.
So I really love that fact. And the decks on this are easy to assemble and redistribute. So like that's not a problem either. I'm gonna say this is a win for me. I'm gonna back this.
So for me, since we have a lot of campaign games that are kind of in limbo right now,
Yeah.
that just are kind of in the middle. I like the fact that it is geared towards single play because that's probably what I would do the most with it, just
Right.
because
Right.
it's easier to get that
Or
one
even
play
just
in.
showing different people. You're like, hey, check this out.
Since she's going to Origins in like 3 days, I'm gonna have her try to play it, so that way I can get like a more informed,
Guess whose booth I'm going to?
a more informed idea before I hit that back
I
button.
like that. I like that.
Just because if she
'Cause this
plays
is
it and
an-
likes it, then I'll probably. I mean, because we have the same taste for campaign games. There's never been a campaign game that she's played and liked that I haven't liked.
Yeah.
So if she enjoys it, she's like, yeah, this is really good. Then we're gonna be all in on it for sure.
Well, and I think you look at. I mean, it's
Oh,
good
pepper.
to. I think anyone can understand your hesitation with this price tag as well. I mean, not to always be the price guy, but $100+ game. If you have the chance,
You
want
wanna be able to play it.
first, Yeah.
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 And for me, all of the online word of mouth means nothing compared to someone I know telling me, "Trust me, you're gonna love this
Right,
game."
because we played
You
games.
know what I mean?
We played so many games with each other. If she
Yeah.
says that she likes it, you have a good idea that it's like,
Right,
okay, it's got a
right.
good pedigree.
For the
behind it,
record,
then, a
though,
good recommendation.
the $100 price tag for this with all the minis and stuff,
not that
it's
much.
not really
I'm
a
not
bad
saying
price.
that it's not
It's just that if you're
unreasonable.
going to spend
Yeah,
that much
it's
money,
just a big
you usually
investment.
want that. Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Well,
Word.
tell us in the comments what your guys' favorite game was that we saw here today, and we're going to talk about our favorite games here. So, out of all 4 games,
Yes.
which is your favorite game out of it?
I think the one I'd be most likely to grab is the Refuge, the Terror from the Deep.
Refuge.
The kind of abstract, tentacle play game.
DrGloryHogg?
The Few, the Cursed.
The
only thing I like,
Few, the
yeah, the only
Cursed,
thing I
okay.
like more than the West is Weird West because it adds like my favorite elements, like that kind of weird mutation or. Like that's the only thing I love more than just regular Western. So I'm 100% in on that one, and I like the idea of the story and everything. So yeah, I would back that one without without you being like okay with it. I'd be like side backing that like on my side account.
So,
Side
we
piece
have
Kickstarter.
people
I
saying
know.
see you there. So booth
1061.
1061 albino dragon. If you want a demo altar quest at Origins, that's fantastic. We'll have to make our
Okay.
way down there.
You
And
can do some live coverage of it since I'll be at
Right.
home with the child.
so I'm gonna say my
Although
favorite
I
one
boosted
in
that.
these 4 is Altar Quest because it is that campaign style game and stuff. I love the miniatures, and then I can use those miniatures for everything. And I feel like it's a great price point for that. And I love the fact that I'm not going to be playing the same game over and over again. Like, that's huge. There's not many things that can say that. As far as like
Yeah,
those big
'cause
campaign
that's always
games.
been
Once
my-
you play the campaign, it's like, ta-da,
That's always been my
fun.
biggest beef.
Now
with
forget
stuff
about it.
like stuff like Touch of Evil. Like I really enjoy that game. That's one of the
Yeah.
first games I bought myself. But I've played that first scenario like with the vampire or the werewolf like 7, 8, 9, 10 times each, and I've never really gotten to go past that. So I'm like, I'm always playing the same scenario over and over and over again.
Exactly.
And there's some stuff in there that mixes it up, but it's still the same scenario.
For me in particular, too, it's not like one of those things where people can play time stories and then they forget after they play. I remember every freaking card and what's on the back of it.
We've done it, but we've had to be like, whenever it's like a pivotal point where it's like, if you talk to this guy that's going to be bad, we'll be like, well, what do you guys want to do? And then we just kind of sit back.
Listen, guys, I can't remember your birthday, can't remember an anniversary, can't remember my own birthday or my child's birthday or anything like that. She forgot her birthday.
She got mad because a bunch of people were texting her at work because it was her birthday. And she's like,
random facts.
Oh, hey.
Random facts. I got those. Board games or movies that I've seen, every detail.
Well,
every
I like
detail.
I'm definitely different. I consume more movies and stuff than she does, but I just like to enjoy the ride. I don't try to guess how it's going to end. I just go along for the ride, and then afterwards I go, that was good, but I don't remember every little minutia.
Alan brings up, Alan brings back a point that we need to make is that Papillon is back. That's so true. If you guys did back Papillon before and you were with us whenever we were talking about it and everything, make sure to go back through and back that again so they can, so you can get your game.
We already went back.
Yeah, as soon as it came up, I rebacked it and stuff because I'm sold on that one.
How's it doing?
I think it's doing pretty good.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
I think they got funded real fast and everything.
So I think there was that concern of some sort of stigma or something.
Do we want to use the internet to find out?
The internet? Do we have access to the interweb here?
I don't know. I'm going to have to get all close to the camera, guys.
Can we use the net?
Hold on.
It's Papillon. It's P-A-P-I.
This is riveting.
I know, right? This is what you guys.
Oh my God.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
We did jump right back in on that one, right? Because Colosso did message us and say like, "Hey, it's coming back," which was cool.
It's not palpitation
at
all.
I can't reach the keyboard very well.
Right,
Hold on, DrGloryHogg.
You do it.
Okay. And thank you everybody for joining me in chat today. Like, you guys are awesome with the comments. Like, Kabuki Kid is saying that they're gonna back Shiver Me Timbers for sure because they've heard so much good stuff about it and everything. Alan says he was backer number 7 on Papillon. That's right. As soon as it came up, I tried backing it. I don't know what backer number I was though. And what else?
What kind of random stuff are you pulling up to?
Well, it pulls up anything that has that name in it, which actually there's quite a few things.
Also, guys, next week, since I will be at Origins, it is unlikely that we're going to end up doing a show next week.
Oh, right. You're going to be out of town.
Yeah, because I leave on Tuesday of next week, so we're not even going to get time to record a show, really, unless we did it on there.
Coverage, folks.
Yeah, check out the Origins coverage. It's coverage. It's probably going to be mostly on Steve Jackson Games for their stuff, but I also hope to, since I have a badge to get into the hall, I usually try to do like a walkthrough of the hall and stuff like that every day where you can see different parts of Origins. And live coverage there. So if you guys are interested in seeing any of that, make sure to leave us messages and comments and everything on our Facebook, Twitter, and everything. Well, DrGloryHogg still tries to find Papillon.
It's so bad. Like, Papillon Kickstarter doesn't pull
up. There it is.
Greg, where can we check you out
Hooked on Geek. We come back from our hiatus on Monday. You can follow us on Twitter.
I'm excited.
Instagram.
Do you have a bunch of good stuff planned? Like,
we have some, we have some ideas
you're like,
that
we
we're
got some
excited
new
about.
Stuff going.
We needed a break.
Alan, I just got it too, Alan. Alan's like, it's 75K.
He popped it up right as you pulled it up. So it's doing well. It's doing really well.
It is doing
better
really
than last time, though? Do we remember?
I think that's better.
I can't remember. I'm going to have to go back and look and see.
1,300 backers. Either way is amazing.
Mm-hmm. And DrGloryHogg, where can we find you at?
DrGloryHogg, everywhere. On all the things.
On all the things. And make sure if you like this video, like and subscribe to our videos. Ring that bell. Check out the awesome interview for the card game, the God of War card game that we did and stuff with Alex. He was so much fun to hang out with. And I think that's about it.
Well, they're 12K under what they had the first time.
Okay.
So not
horrible. But they're gonna do great because they still have plenty of days left, right?
6 days left.
They got almost a week, yeah.
I hope they get there. I hope they don't end up being at less than what they had before. If so, bring down the hammer.
It's one of the few that you guys have played, so you can actually
we played a bunch at Dice Tower West.
Right.
Yeah, every time we go out to conventions, we try to play as many games as possible.
Right, like that's why we played God of War, the card game. We just didn't realize it was going straight retail.
All right, guys, we will see you guys later. Stay tuned for more cool stuff. Or I guess more come on stuff.
Come on. Come on.